Well, hello friends. How are we all doing today? Hopefully you guys had a good start to your Monday, especially if you had to deal with the annoyance known as daylight savings. Terrible creation of humanity. Wow, it only took Stream Elements 5 minutes to pull that off. Interesting. And I misspelled. Whoops. Save that. There we go. Anyway, how we doing, friends? Looking like audio is being picked up properly across the board. We'd love to see it. Let me see. Alright. Got ourselves some stream raiders here. Just noticed we have 19 hours left. Kind of a bummer. Take a look at what we got in terms of stuff. We got free onigiri. Make sure you guys grab that if you're playing. I'm gonna go ahead and burn off what we got for more coins, more tokens. There we go on that. What's in the store for us? Ooh, Lancer Scrolls. Those are always nice. A little bit more on the Flying Rogue, gets a little closer to that level 20. So close. Alright, ooh, hey, we got more free meat. You get a double on the Templar Scrolls, very cool. Okay, last time we were playing, we got all the way up to the Demon Princess. Let's see if we can't get it beat. Yeah, we'll throw the vampire out because I think it's technically my strongest with its abilities. There we go, friends. Of course, that'll be the last time we see it until the end. Hopefully, I'll remember this time. Now we're going to jump back into Genshin Impact. We have a whole new area to explore and check out, new people to talk with and learn about. And we got some dailies we can go do first real quick. Wait, why are we on a ledge? I don't remember being on a ledge. Okay. Anything back here? Don't see anything down there. I wonder if we can fall down there. Yep. Just curious. In this case, curiosity might have killed the Kokomi. So, for those that weren't here for the last Genshin Impact stream, we completed things in Sumeru to a point where I think we're down to just a few little odds and ends that need doing, which is pretty much the same story for Liyue Harbor, Inazuma, and even Mondstadt. One of these days we'll go back and maybe finish a few of them, but for now, we got Fontaine to explore.
This is our current abode. Ah, Frienemies,
I forgot to turn
you're
my
home.
phone to quiet.
Where did everyone else go? I have some new friends that I would like to introduce.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
He seems like such a spirited person.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. I suppose that can't be helped. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Frienemies. He is a phenomenal diver.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. My name is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. Oh, you sound very proud to have a diver as a brother, Linny.
Lenny sure seems to have a big family.
Lenny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Frienemies? Do you have something to tell me?
Alright, go ahead. We'll wander over somewhere else. Maybe. Curious about the contraption in the middle of this, or the small of his back.
Is everything alright?
Oh, it's nothing. We were just discussing a little housework. Sorry for the interruption. Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collected more materials to make magic pockets. Were you able to get any, Freminet?
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of materials. I was about to give them to you.
That's our Freminet, always quick with the underwater work. All right, I'll take these to the workshop.
Oh, look at her! That was so cute!
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago? Fontaine's weather sure is weird.
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
What's wrong, Freminet?
There's a legend about the rain that I tend to believe. It's said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went, every time it weeps, the skies will cloud up and pour out rain. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play, I should yell toward the sky at the top of my lungs. Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
The Hydro Dragon be the elemental dragon of Fontaine.
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very unusual. Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Oh, hey, waypoint.
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism. Or could at least play along.
Sorry, it might be because we've never met the Hydro Dragon. Perhaps it can't be comforted by the words of strangers.
Doop-doop-doo.
It rained for longer than I suspected. Oh, it's already getting late.
Was there something you needed to do, Linny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. I need to find a way to catch the last aqua bus of the day. On the day of the performance, just ride the aqua bus to the island of Aranius. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Oh, are you leaving now?
What is it, Freminet? I'm in a hurry. Oh, I get it. You feel nervous delivering the materials for the magic pockets, is that it? Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver them to the owner there? I'm afraid that Freminet can be quite introverted, and the boss there tends to be pretty talkative. Freminet has always been a little afraid of her.
No trouble at all. Don't worry, we're on the case.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks. I'll think of a way to make it up to you.
Oh, no need. This will be a walk in the park for us.
You need help. You need serious help. Serious help.
Yes, I do. Hi, River Eye. Let's see, where was that? Was that over here?
Move out.
Oh, come on. How are you doing today? Come on, you can't tease a waypoint and then not let me have it. Workday treats you well, hopefully. free stuff. Hello? That is a dog in a top hat equipped with a cane. Hello? What is this madness? What the heck? It's so... it's different. A very weird kind of different. Ooh, more free stuff. Wait a minute. I thought the waypoint pinged.
You gonna learn today?
Ah! No, I don't want to learn. Wait. The hell was that? I need to go up? How do I go up? How are you doing, Pure? How's life treating you? Wait, was Uppies over here? I think that was Uppies. No, this is not. But this is where I needed to go anyway.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made? Or perhaps you're just looking for a chat with me.
Okay, she's pretty straightforward.
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are. They're for making... what were they called again?
These must be for Magic Pockets. I could tell right away. I've already made several orders worth now. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. When they told me what they'd be using them for, I even offered them a discount. But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run. It seems both their hearts and their pockets are made of gold.
Whoa. So, is Linny actually loaded?
I can't say for sure, but who knows? Maybe there's good money to be made being a magician in Fontaine.
Hey!
I like the
is
cut of her
this machine what you
clothes.
use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology, and wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Well, it's a little complicated. I'm not sure I can put it in layman's terms for you. But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
Okay. What?
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself, but basically, when a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used
Lord, that
all
is such a
around
word.
Fontaine.
So that's what its other function is? Paimon heard that the Oratrice was created by the Archon to make judgments. But Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for these machines?
Gods rely on belief to obtain power.
Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take the energy created by belief and turn it into power for all of Fontaine, right?
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called Mumusia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature. Even now, it still cannot be widely used by civilians.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're already talking, I'm sure you wouldn't mind a few words with me.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I.O. to Confrérie of Cabriere by next month? Why are you hounding me now?
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait, no, 70%.
Huh?
So this is how we're going to trial.
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe now's a good time to leave?
Why do I not have an option to step in and put a stop to this nonsense? Come on, Hayo. Give me better options.
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own
Hey.
debts first? If Confrere of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before you get back to your little conversation here?
Oh, great.
You're from Northland Bank. But we said we'll pay everything we owe next month. Why are you hounding
How
me
is
now?
this? Sounds exactly the same.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
Still kind of want to run my sword through you, buddy.
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now, and honestly, things have been pretty boring. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble. Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
I have such interesting friends, I suppose, but I would rather him not be.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip here has gone pretty well so far. Right, Traveler?
I think we've already weathered enough storms for now.
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy. Aren't you forgetting something?
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this. Why don't you wait for me over there for a while?
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you catch up with your...
You gonna learn today?
Nope, I don't wanna. Can't make me. How's Azura doing?
Listen to me, boy. If you want your mora, fine. Why don't you come and take it?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said,
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now!
can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients.
It's okay getting better to the small stream. Hooray! Hooray for small steps.
You're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm sure this won't take long.
What'd you play?
You're mine. No time to...
Oh, I can't switch out. That's not fair.
Who's next?
There we go. Lost Planet,
What's
a
your
2006
deal, Brad?
game?
How are you
Nice.
so strong if you're just a staffer from
Keeps
Snezhnaya's
kicking
Northland
me in
Bank?
the deck.
Wait, don't tell me you're...
Why does he keep kicking me in the
deck?
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Just make sure you understand that you don't mess with Northland Bank. Got it?
That's probably my favorite line of all of Team 4 Stars Abridged work.
Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird.
His hydro abilities were just muffled.
I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them. Maybe there's something wrong with my vision?
Well, maybe stop being an evil jerk.
strange. How could that happen? First time Paimon's ever heard of someone losing control of their vision.
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
Don't have a vision, so don't ask me.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? I don't see its work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that? Wait, since when do you feel down about anything?
I don't know. Maybe I still have a lot to learn about myself.
I still don't understand all the people that ship Child with Lumine. It just doesn't make any sense to me. This guy is such a worthless...
But recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring inside of me. And I don't know why, but every now and then I feel like I'm in a terrible mood.
Maybe you losing control of your vision just now is connected with that power you're feeling inside.
That is a possibility.
So about this power, do you have any idea where it came from?
I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before, but when I was 14, I fell into some unknown abyss. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me was named Skirk. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through, and she was always very strict when teaching me combat techniques.
As one should be.
One time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. From what I could make of her answer, it was because I had awakened it, and traces of it remained on me. She said that all my combat training would be useful in the future.
But what is it? What did you awaken?
Could it have something to do with that whole scene we were playing in the Memories of Aether?
She never explained that, but my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had just fallen into that abyss. In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed was all around me. But in front of me appeared a whale that was so massive, I felt like I couldn't breathe.
That whale was the one the Knights who say he cannot stand to hear.
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind. I'll never forget it.
So how can they so casually talk? He is the bad guy. It don't make no sense.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. Seems a little twisted to Paimon.
I'm gonna eat the last piece of brownies while I muddle through this. Very possible the power inside you is connected to your incident in the abyss.
So why don't you just go ask your master? Maybe she knows the answer.
She did.
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never stopped searching for Master Skirk and that unknown abyss. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing. There isn't even a trace of the place where I remember falling into the abyss.
Oh, it sounds like some kind of ghost story.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more I can do. It seems that strange encounters in this world tend to be elusive like that. Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you. I just remembered I have somewhere else I need to be, so I should get going.
What? More work for the Northland Bank?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists whenever I'm feeling bored.
Official champion duelists? You mean it's their job to duel?
Yep, in Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred fight with no specified stopping point. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. But if they lose, they'll have no choice but to stand trial. And the worst case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel.
That's kind of a rough way to go.
Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor. Otherwise, why gamble with your life?
So, do many people actually get out of their trials by winning the duel?
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Fontaine probably enacted this system as a way to show that the nation respects the honor of its citizens. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with, which is exactly why I was itching to face them as soon as I got to Fontaine. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorinde, is the strongest of the champion duelists. I had been asking her for some time before she finally agreed to face me today.
Well, that's child for ya. Paimon feels like we heard that name somewhere before. Clorinde. Huh.
You met the high
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Your vision? You're seriously just giving it away?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the way of my duel, so I think I'll be better off without it for now. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while. I'll come retrieve it when I have some time later.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us again, don't you?
Look at the facial expressions. Ah, that's great.
Whatever gave you that idea? I'll be in touch later.
That sneaky guy. He said he's been feeling down lately, but he seemed the same as ever to Paimon. Well, since we don't have much to do for now, we might as well walk around and see the city before Lenny's performance.
Let's go find that statue of the Seven.
Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along! Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. Whew. Paimon never saw that twist coming. The murder mystery novels here are amazing!
I thought I'd see the day when Paimon would enjoy reading. That's
The
funny.
whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. Both have their merits, but Paimon thinks this style of novels are more, well, novel. It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered, especially in the one Paimon was just reading. You should buy a copy and read it too.
You already spoiled who the murderer is.
Oh, sorry about that. Paimon will be more careful next time. Hey, shouldn't we be heading to the Opera House to see Lenny's performance soon? It's almost time for the show to start, so we should get going.
Okay, now let's go find a statue.
So let's go ride the Aqua Bus.
There was also that little girl at the stand, I think it was. Ah, here's a waypoint. Finally. She was like a little puppy or something. I was hoping we could run into her. She was adorable. Free stuff. And we got a carrot.
Hello.
What? Ah! Why for you fart? The much-awaited Great Magician's Night of Fantasy will soon be held at the Opera Eclipse. I'm fascinated by the bird. Okay, anyway. We need to go up further. Is that our malfunction? see anybody down there. How close? We're probably not going to be able to make that. However, we might be able to jump from this point, make it on top of the building over there. Okay, can we get over here? Nice. As long as this lip doesn't get us. Oh, so this is just the aqueduct? Wait, we still have to go higher? That's not nice. Take the elevator. I'm so far lost, Pure, I have no idea where the elevator's at. So we're just climbing. We're exploring. Can we make it over this ledge? No, we cannot. Might be an elevator over there. One's loud. Thank you for the elevator music, River. Push the button. Haha! Wait. Okay, up. We're getting those uppies.
Animal test 6308.
Okay, real quick. Ah, there it is. Just trolling that just keeps coming. Hey, it's fine. That was certainly different. So, wait a minute. The statue. Pretty. I can't see. Alright. Nice, nice. So we've got at least three more waypoints to go after. Just inside the walls, and all kinds of them outside. And underwater, it looks like. Big time underwater. A second, let me get this going. Boss defeated, congratulations, friends. Let me get the next battle up here. Maybe, possibly, someday. Alright, I gotta place healers. I didn't want to have to, but I gotta do it. Gotta do it. Okay, do. Come on. Alright. Worship. We only have one. We need 20. Not worth the time. Alright, so we need to go that way somewhere. But I want to keep exploring, because there's all sorts of stuff to look at. Out of all honesty, if anybody would be at home at this place, it would be this absolutely adorable being of a person. This would be like Candyland for her. Her being extremely shy other places wouldn't fly here. She would just be at every little machine, studying everything. Probably be the cutest thing you'd ever see, no lie. What is that? Hello? Hey, we got something new. Ah, I see Hydroculus. No? Energy blocks can be naturally occurring or artificially created and are separated into pneuma blocks and Uisa blocks. After collecting an energy block, your next normal charged or plunging attack will, upon hit, release the energy stored within them. Interesting. Okay. Hey, we got stuff for it. Okay. Another flower? Wait, really?
Hold the line. No touching. Born of ice and frost.
I was
Stand clear.
gonna be content to just watch you, bud, but...
Animal test 6308.
I'm just gonna check him out. I wasn't expecting to be attacked. Okay, so there's just all these weird glowing towers all over the place. Ah, we missed. Landed on that ledge, though. So that's just another power thing. Yep. Flower. Okay. Let's get her. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's nothing there. Let's get back inside. I just said something about a world quest. There it is. What does Virgil want? I must say the weather today is simply wonderful. You're quite the beautiful young lady. Virgil at your service. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Here, we go this. Such elegant names. Welcome to the court of Fontaine. It is truly an honor to meet the two of you here. As you know, we're not from Fontaine. With a glance, it is obvious that you're uncivil. That you're unsatisfied with being bathed in the soft lights of the city, but feel the call of the wild, which will never be illuminated by bright city lights. Yes, just like the heroes in the operas. Yeah, that's totally true. TI's adventure in Ad Astra Abasca. Okay. Those of the Adventurers Guild are beggarly. What? What's that? Courageous warriors begging with all their heart to unlock the deepest mysteries of the world. They wake up to their eyes to the stars above, sleep with their back to the abyss below. And where there is an unknown domain, there's an adventurer who simply must explore it, bravery bursting beyond the brim. Cannot be helped but notice how your gaze is focused on many things. Perhaps you wish to study our sublime arts, our intricate clockwork, mecha, or advanced civic cultures. Amazing. Paimon didn't even notice the decorations, but Paimon did notice that Fontaine has a ton of delicious foods that she's never seen anywhere else. Not bad, isn't it? We've had a long and glorious tradition of gourmet culture in Fontaine. Naturally, the two of you must often take your meals in the great outdoors, and thus are unfortunately limited to your ability to sample the breadth of Fontaine's superb cuisine. Unable to experience the luxurious richness that is leisurely afternoon tea with a few pastries. Let's get back on topic. Paimon thinks that Virgil has a commission for us. My two exceptional friends, have you heard of the Lillacrucis treasure? Please allow me to explain. It is a legend of lost treasure that has been passed down in Fontaine for centuries. Once there was a secret society called the Lillacrucis Forum that was able to attract a great many of the rich and influential. Though they humbly called themselves a forum, I apologize. The big yawn's going. Their actual plan was to overthrow Fontaine itself. In the end, their conspiracy was exposed, and the the distinguished members of the Forum engaged in a thrilling battle with the Mason Gardenage, but were ultimately defeated in the climactic showdown. However, my dear friends, you must know that they were once the richest and most famous of all of Fontaine, and they must have gathered a tremendous amount of wealth. It's a huge treasury vault somewhere, and when you open it, whoa, it's overflowing with nothing but gold, shining like the sun. Correct, they wish to overthrow a beautiful Fontaine, and to do so they must have amassed a fortune so vast that they could literally be said to have more money than Morax. However, this wealth was never found. Oh, come on, guys. Why are we getting into the scam stuff again? With what Fontaine and the control of Syntha. Anyway, after a lengthy investigation, I've discovered the location of the Little Chris's Forum's headquarters, found amidst the underwater ruins outside the city. What do you think, my dear Paimon, TI? I hereby sincerely extend an invitation to both of you to become partners and dive beneath the waves to search for the lost treasures. This Fontaine's water is different from elsewhere. Paimon can never forget how she was drowning before being rescued by you. Yeah, we probably won't. If that's settled, please allow me to prepare diving equipment for the two of you. I should have the correct sizes. So remember, vision holders may dive freely in our waters, but if it's you, of course I don't doubt your abilities. She's a famed adventurer, and she must be very aware of her limits. But it just so happens I do not share the same capabilities, so I'll have to rely on our homegrown technology to keep myself alive. Be that as it may, shall we begin? Okay. Back to our main story quest, which involves coming up to say hello to this absolutely adorable little being. Why can we not play as her? Look at her, she's adorable. What are you doing? I'm patrolling and enjoying the weather as I do. Whether rain or shine, it's a good day for a Melusine? Melusine? Look at her, she's just prancing around. Ooh, more flowers. I was gonna say, I'd been a little upset if we'd fallen all the way down. Alright, let's head down. We need to figure out where we gotta go. Hey, that was good flying there. Ooh, I adore her dress. It's like almost my favorite color of green. And a Catherine.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Your place is looking a little different. This adventure didn't pass a review either. I wonder what's wrong. I'm afraid that this isn't really a guild affair, but a commission from the Fontaine Research Institute. I'm sure you've heard that the full name of the Fontaine Research Institute is Fontaine Research Institute of Kinetic Energy Engineering. Before the explosion, it was the technological center of the entire court of Fontaine. Paimon remembers, someone named Edwin made a mistake, and there was an explosion at the Fontaine Research Institute. A mission from a place that blew up once sounds dangerous. That is true. According to the Fontaine Research Institute, the commission is rather difficult and not for just anyone. So those who want to give it a try must go to the specified location to undergo a series of qualification reviews, and they must prepare their own documents and certifications. Is arrest warrant a document? We'll stick with the flying license. As an addendum, yes, they actually have a list of documents that you must bring. The list includes your current and previous adventure handbooks, your commissions from the last 80 days, and more. Some of them even require stamps from the Mason Genshin. That's not all. Even if adventurers have all the documents and proofs ready and arrive at the specified location to be reviewed, they will not be able to accept the commission if they fail just one item in the qualification review. If the adventurer is not willing to accept other work arrangements, then they will be rejected. Yes, a lot of them went excitedly, only to return angry. This commission has become so infamous that no one wants to be reviewed anymore. Want to be reviewed? That would be a huge help. Don't get too excited. Please wait here while I get all the required documents ready for you. Do you have a pen? Oh, don't worry, I'll go get a few bottles of ink. A few bottles? Is one not enough? Oh my, is this a place that requires forms in triplicate? Can't say, but don't worry, I'm very familiar with these documents, so just follow my instructions. I'm sure you are, Catherine. 1 proof of your adventure qualifications, 1 30-day travel history, and 1 registration of past... Uh-oh. Oh, no. And current adventure handbook serial numbers. Now for your commission history, income statement, commission evaluations, commission statistics, and average positive for... Holy crap! For your resume, fill in your habitual residence, contact address, contact information, emergency contact, your current name, names you've used in the past, and pseudonyms, aliases you've used when you want to conceal your identity. This monologue's great. Give us another. My writing hand is tired from just listening to the list of documents. With Catherine's help, you start filling out the forms. Use up a bottle after bottle of ink. The stack forms gradually shrinks, and you finish the last form. Both Catherine and you breathe a sigh of relief. It hasn't even started. I didn't think that this commission would be so troublesome, but if we don't go to the review, then we've wasted our time. Oh boy. You'll be fine, I believe. As the receptionist of the Adventurers Guild, I know what you're capable of. If Fontaine Research Institute rejects you, then there's no one else in Fontaine who can take this commission. I'll mark the location on the map, go there and find someone named Desnos, who is stationed there and will guide you. If possible, prefer not to have to stamp a single adventure qualification. More. This way is going. I'm going to wear the stamp out. Okay.
Add Astra Abyssal.
Add extra applesauce. Ooh. So we get some more chipkin. What are those? Tidalgas. The mushrooms, we get tons of those anyway. Marcotte. Pink flower with a pearl-like luster. And just, stuff. It would be kind of nice if they would, I want the flowers. Oh, hey, we have Navia, too. Cool. It'd be nice if they would give new areas, they would give us more people that could go out and do those things. Alright, let's get to the opera house. Ooh. Well, I wanted to go see the dresses.
Huh? Isn't that Charlotte?
It is
Who's
indeed.
her friend, and what are they chatting about?
Shut up, Paimon. We don't care.
Hey, please, with the cherry on top, Charlotte. Journalist extraordinaire. Please tell me you're joking. I read that a gang of criminals tricked the Gardamex by disguising themselves as blubber beasts. It's true, isn't it? It has to be. I've invested all my savings into graph adversarial technology and even taken out a sizable bank loan. I'm begging you like the beggiest beggar in all of begdom.
What?
Can you calm down a little, Miss Lapine, Pauline?
Lapine? What is this kind of name scheme?
I admire your passion for your research, and I don't mean to dash your hopes for those, big-ticket orders. But I'm afraid I'm not joking. The Blubber Beast incident was a short story mailed to us by an anonymous amateur author, written in the style of a true story.
It just discussing a story, but why does this Miss Lapine Pauline seem so distressed?
Funnily enough, I actually remember being in a meeting where the editing team was debating the potential risk of misleading the public with this story. They even went to Maison Gardiennage for advice.
Maison. Ooh, fancy.
But to our surprise, they fully supported us printing it. They figured that the false intel would be a great way to dupe potential criminals into wearing ridiculous costumes when breaking the law. In truth, Gardamex are extremely sophisticated in their capabilities.
He's got
They
the
can
twitches.
identify criminals just as reliably as the best human guards, so a crude disguise isn't gonna get you far. If anything, it'll just make you stand out all the more. Since we ran that story, the Maison Gardiennage has made a slew of arrests, including, one phantom blubber beast, a titanic red-crowned finch, and a specter man. So I knew this story had helped out law enforcement, but this is the first time I'm learning of an innocent citizen being deceived by it, and investing so much mora for nothing.
Uh-oh. She really sounds like she's in pain. Paimon thinks we should just ask Charlotte what's going on. Hey, Charlotte.
Traveler, Paimon, it's you!
Guess it's a good reason to, not waste money.
I was in the area taking some photos for a story when I got to talking to Miss Lapine Pauline about her research. She read an article in the Steambird about a criminal who evaded Gardamex detection by disguising themselves as a blubber beast. Inspired by this story, she spent a lot of mora researching counter-criminal image recognition technology. Her aim was to improve Fontaine's public security by developing a device that could enhance Gardamex target recognition capabilities. She was hoping I could write an article to spread awareness about image recognition technology. She even paid me for the article and gave me one of her prototype devices before I could get a word in. But unfortunately, it was just a fictional story, and her efforts and aspirations were all in vain. I tried to let her down gently, but she's finding it all very hard to accept.
This is a new situation for us, too.
I don't do well with crying.
It seems like the author was only trying to make the story interesting, and the Maison Gardiennage only had Fontaine's best interest in mind.
She's just a victim of a misunderstanding.
Wait, Miss Lapine Pauline, what are you doing?
I'm gonna pick a fight with a Gardamex, head to the Opera at Biclès, and get a one-way ticket to the Fortress of Meropide. That way, I won't have to repay my debts. It's the only way I can afford to keep on living.
Whoa, there's no need to go that far. I mean, come on, look at you. You wouldn't even dent the Gardamex armor. In all likelihood, they'd only hold you up at the Maison Gardiennage for a few days before letting you out, and then you'd still have to repay your debts. Actually, instead of going into the technicalities of that, how much did you actually invest? How bad can it really be?
I have a feeling we're about to hear an astronomical number.
270,000 mora.
Okay, well, escaping to the Fortress of Meropide over a sum like that seems like a last resort. Surely there must be other options.
Not anymore. I used to be an equipment supplier to the Fontaine Research Institute before that blew to pieces.
Oh, shit.
And now I'm just a small-time engineer. I scraped together some savings over the past few years, but I put every last mora into this project, and now I'm left with nothing.
Wait, there's female puppy dogs with the bonnet and the top hat. These dogs are too fancy for me.
It's not just my savings that are gone. It's my whole future as a graph adversarial technology specialist and my dreams of becoming a billionaire one day. My life is over.
Don't despair, Miss Lapine Pauline. I think I know a way for you to turn this around. This prototype you've given me, the camera lens for image recognition sample collection. It's really quite something. You said you designed it specifically for high-fidelity image capture and analysis, yes? The rapid focal length adjustment is a very useful function in its own right. It's sure to make many journalists' jobs much easier. In fact, I'd say it has the potential to revolutionize Fontaine's news media. So your research efforts thus far are by no means in vain. The technology you've developed may have many applications that you've never even considered. Absolutely. I've been working as a journalist for the Steambird for a long time now. No one understands the issues we journalists face on a day-to-day basis better than me.
Okay.
So keep calm, take heart, and start thinking about mass production. In the meantime, I'll show your invention to all my colleagues to drum up interest in your product.
I can't believe it! If this is true, then I can look into setting up a whole camera lens development pipeline. My big ticket orders and billionaire aspirations are still in the cards. Oh, maybe I should consider taking out another loan. That way, I can rapidly improve the lens production process, be the first to market, and prepare to battle for dominance in the camera industry.
Come on, stop daydreaming about your pipelines for a minute. Just take it one step at a time and see how it goes. There's no sense in putting all your eggs in one basket before things are even off the ground.
Overly ambitious might come back to bite you.
And I can probably speak to some people I know and license my image recognition device to a workshop to raise some funds. I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner. There's no time to lose. I need to get to work. Early bird gets the worm.
Well, at least she's not crying anymore.
Can you believe her? She just ran off. Paimon's pretty sure our advice went in one ear and out the other.
It's understandable. When inspiration and passion strike at the same time, it's all too easy to throw yourself headfirst into your work and forget about everyone around you. A lot of journalists are the same way when they're first starting out. But don't you worry. I'm gonna write an article on all this, and I'll be checking in on her regularly. Her research has the potential to benefit the entire journalistic community. I'll give her plenty of input to stop her from going down any rabbit holes, and make sure mass production of her lens can begin as soon as possible.
It's reassuring to know that you'll be looking out for her, Charlotte.
Star journalist to the rescue.
Actually, you know what? Why don't you two take this prototype lens? I'm sure you'll have plenty of chances to use it on your travels. It takes the right person to get the most out of a new technology. In your hands, it's sure to capture some amazing sights.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. What a nice surprise. We were just curious about what you guys were talking about. Totally didn't expect to get a free gift out of it.
You're welcome. I got something out of this too. The beginnings of a very interesting news story. The boundaries between real news reports and news-like fiction must not be blurred, even when there's a compelling justification for doing so. Yes, that's how I'll phrase it to the editors when I give them my feedback. Let's hope we don't mislead any more well-meaning citizens in the future.
Special Analyst Zoom Lens. For activating the special zoom lens through the inventory or the gadget shortcut bar, you can use your camera to use a special photo-taking function. For Charlotte activates this gadget, the original effects of framing, freezing, point composition, holds mode cannot take effect. Okay.
I haven't been out in a while.
So pretty. I love the dresses. Dresses are so awesome.
In fact,
But these are kind of more like an overcoat.
they really are cut above.
Interesting. We need to go... Where? No. I need to go that way. Okay, so do I need uppies? Nope, we need this. This is what we need first. Right here. Give me them waypoints. Excuse me, miss. Bye. Don't worry, we're not gonna get poor Sucrose smooshed. That's a Minzy thing, she can have that. Okay. First time here, if it is, let me recommend some hot spots to you. If you're interested in the news and want to know more about Fontaine, I recommend you head in the direction of the Steambird. If you wish, you can purchase a copy of the Steambird along the way, and if you're lucky, you might even stumble upon the scene of a journalist conducting an interview. If you're interested in the latest fashion, you can check out Damoville Purveyor in Quartier Narbonnais. Okay. Perfume and clothing stores that push the times and tides here in Fontaine to be found there too. Many tourists fresh off the boat make Narbonnais their first stop. Okay, that, oh my god, look at how adorable!
Elgo?
Ah! Evie! Hi, Tigressa, how are you? The morning's crowd's larger than the afternoon one. Card duel. The sort that wears hats. Oh, she's cute. How are you doing, friend? You staying out of trouble today? Different humans exhibit different behaviors. Some wear hats and others don't. Same for drinking coffee or being in a hurry. I love categorizing them and summarizing the various patterns they follow. For example, more people wear hats in the morning than in the afternoon. Do you know why that is? From my observations, it seems people are properly dressed when they head out in the morning. As much as you can, I do understand. In the afternoon, after a day at work, they stop sweating the small details. They loosen their ties, take off their hats, and run out of the platforms happily. Thank you, it seems to be a quality I possess. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Remia from the I'm not even giving that word a second thought. I'm on vacation right now, but I can go back into work mode at any time if some emergency calls for it. Well, what do we got up here? Anything of value? Ooh, uppies. Well, hopefully the day treated you well. I know the Monday after daylight savings time can be quite rough for us all. I certainly felt it today. Wait, we gotta get all the way over there? Okay. On it. Should probably look at the map more often. Ah, Hydroculus. Well, that was fun. Let's do it again. Later. Well, that's fancy. Excuse me. Dropping in. Oh, you guys are robots. Okay, let's give me a second. Fire up the old Stream Raiders. Get ourselves a good battle going. Thank you, River Eye, for your placements. Actually, I really like the robots. They're really cool looking. Wait, really? Why are they flying away? That's not fair.
Whoa! Now this is fancy! The Opera Epiclese. What a place to hold a performance! No wonder Linny and Lynette were looking forward to it. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon. Please bless us with a bright and healthy child. We pray.
One second.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as our child is healthy and lives a peaceful life.
But what if it wakes up one day and chooses violence? You should be happy for that too.
I guess if they're our kid, then there's no doubt they'll turn out smart.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine. There sure are a lot of couples here.
Vache.
Eh? What?
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
What?
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you hearing things?
This isn't the first time, Paimon. Why would you even be remotely surprised?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children.
Well, Lynette, since you're here, let's get to wishing.
Lynette! You scared Paimon! When did you get here?
Yes, Lynette is love. She is so pretty.
Lenny asked me to wait here for you, remember?
Honestly, I would just be compelled to give her head pats all the time. She's just so,
Right.
not really simple-minded, but very simple-focused, I guess. Seemed to hear a faint voice
What
just
do you
now.
mean? There are a lot of people here right now.
The voice was coming from the fountain.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you? Besides, it's the middle of the day. It's not the time for eerie things.
I see. I might be able to tell you something that could help explain the voice you heard.
I've got eyes just for that waypoint back here. Let's speed this
In
along.
fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others in my family have had similar experiences.
It's because of her sensitivity to the hydro element? But what would hearing a voice have to do with elemental power?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what? What does that have to do with anything?
Just answer me. When do you cry?
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and when Paimon's super happy. Oh, and also when Paimon's really, really scared.
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. Even the tears that fall to the ground will eventually gather here. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
So, what did the voice say?
Seem to be calling out someone's name.
If you were hearing their emotions, then Paimon wonders what happened to them.
Rather than worrying about them, we should worry about my brother first. Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous just before a performance. So chatting with Lenny might help him relax a little before he goes on stage.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Let's go in and see Lenny.
Yep, there we go. I love the music. Mostly because I like this kind of music. I mean, I listen to a band, well, they're not even a band, they're a group, two guys, and called Two Cellos, and they play some of the greatest music utilizing just cellos. And I love listening to their stuff. So instrument-only stuff is kind of fun. These are so cute.
Where humans come from.
Offerings to the Fountain of Lucine. Offer that. I didn't get to read it all. Ooh. And throw the hydro sigils you obtain across Fontaine into the Fountain of Lucine inside the opera to raise its level and obtain valuable rewards. I have no hydro sigils yet, so we'll have to work on that.
Alright, from now on, I'll say thank you to Barbados by showing that I have the freedom to blow up as many fish as I want.
Now, wasn't it this fountain that you would hear, like, the faint sounds of somebody crying? I remember seeing a video about it, I just don't remember what it was that triggered it. They're so adorable. I just want to give them an ice cream cone and give them head pats. They're so cute. Ooh, this place is fancy.
Ah, Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah.
We've been looking forward to it.
Indeed.
I can tell, judging by how early you've arrived. But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to the best seats in the house. Wait just a moment, I'll fetch the tickets.
Since you are further ahead, Pure, does it ever explain why he is just a normal human, yet she is a cat girl? And yet brother-sister? Is she adopted?
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here are your tickets.
Ooh,
it kind of bothers me a little.
Thanks, Lenny.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny, could you come over here and take a look at this?
I actually don't know. Well, it's just, we've met Lenny, we've met the other brother, and I can't remember his name because it was really hard to pronounce. They look like basic humans, and yet we have super cute cat girl. And she has resemblance to them. Maybe the dad was a little promiscuous.
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant, calling me. I'll go lend him a hand.
Best get busy.
We'll just go to our seats. You go ahead, Lenny.
Huh? Huh? Oh. Up, up, and away. Heyo. Holy cow, this place is huge. Is there anything worth getting? Can we get anything? Give me my treasure chest of exploration.
We're way behind schedule.
I can't activate my... Oh, there we go.
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's sit down.
Blah. Paimon, sit. Well, now I'm uncomfortable.
Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since we're sitting together and the rest of the place is practically empty still. It's kind of awkward if we don't say anything.
Yeah, Paimon, you do it.
You little... Of course you put this on Paimon.
Of course.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I am terribly sorry.
That sounds like the same voice for, Morax. What's his other name? Can't think of it. No! Been too long since we've had any interactions with him, so...
I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh, so you heard all of that? did ya? Boy, you sure have good ears. Paimon thought she was keeping her voice down. Wait, that's not it. Paimon's sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. So, let's talk, but, oh, Paimon's got it. You're also here early and sitting in the front. Are you a friend of Linny's too?
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to reciprocate.
This guy's gonna be like somebody really super important, isn't he?
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny then? Oh, this is getting more awkward by the second. Paimon nearly forgot to make her introduction. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat.
Really? We didn't even know this place existed up until a few versions ago.
And as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Whoa! Sorry for being so rude just now. Paimon had no idea you were such an important person.
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work.
Now I have a
Nearly
kitty on my
every
feet.
person has their usual
Hi, buddy.
reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression.
That's my arm. My cat's attacking my arm. Stinky boy.
So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
I don't know. From what I've seen of her, having her flustered would be a lot more fun.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon.
Wow.
She sure has a smug and satisfied look on her face. Guess she has no idea that you saw right through her act.
Fiorina, I agree. I really love Fiorina, and there's been some art that's been posted up that's been really very impressive.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations, and the performance will start as soon as
Dude,
the
he is
audience has made their way
glowing
to their
red.
seats.
What the heck?
Yay! The show's finally about to start! Paimon can hardly wait! Paimon's never seen a real live magic show before!
He's glowing red. What the hell? Did he get a sunburn in the whole midst of things?
Ooh, they're dimming the lights! The show must be starting!
Shut up, Paimon.
Sorry. Paimon will try to stay quiet.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epicles. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
I love all the bows.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now, but that's just a sign that she's nervous.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. Lynette will now exit the stage to make some preparations. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. I'm sure she'll be stealing the spotlight soon enough. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing I should say. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I was expecting her at least maybe in something else. Okay, that was cute. Well, that was fun. I like that.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? How did he do that? Paimon didn't see him do anything!
Shut up, Paimon.
Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then reappear out of nowhere?
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. Paimon couldn't believe her eyes when Lynette reappeared. Amazing!
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. I've prepared even more astonishing surprises for everyone here. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen.
I need that as a plushie. I need that immediately.
I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. But Lynette is still my assistant after all. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member.
What's up with the random orbs?
Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any chance to make a move.
Wow, how's he gonna do this? Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual superpowers?
Let's watch and see.
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know
Shut
who
up,
will be chosen
Paimon,
to
right?
participate.
It's like Wesley in The Next Generation. Shut up, Wesley.
Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things may happen, don't come out of the box. If the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
Well, she actually sounds nervous.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing I need to ask the audience to do. Could you all give me a countdown? Like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh, Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that.
With the whole crowd counting together, you couldn't even if you wanted to.
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me. 60, 59, 58.
60, 59, 58.
Is it just me, or does it seem like the place is gradually filling up more and more as we pan out to the audience?
That's right, perfect. Keep it going. All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
Because it seems like there wasn't very many people in there when we started, and the seats just keep getting fuller and fuller.
54, 53, 52? Huh? Why aren't you counting, Nervalet?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality. Do not worry about me. Just enjoy the show.
Oh, alright. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or something.
40, 39, 38!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there? Is everything ready?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm just double-checking the direction of the magic. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, mid-air right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all.
Maybe just supremely confident in his abilities.
What was that noise? Did you hear it too?
Gosh, just to divert our
Not
attention.
sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
25, 24, 23!
What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration. I'm trying to fix it, but it's pitch black in here. I can't tell left from right.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show is what's important.
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect. Don't worry, we still have 20 seconds. Hear them counting?
19, 18, 17.
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. I apologize, everyone. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10! Almost there now.
8!
Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
Okay, a very excited Furina is way too adorable. They did really good work on showing her off. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Okay, I was not expecting that.
Huh? Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience.
Kind of better that way? I mean, it's kind of mean, but...
And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found.
That's concerning.
It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. And there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
And to pull it off like this in front of an audience, including the Archon and Chief Justice.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale. Did he really underestimate us that badly? I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not?
A lot of coincidences.
Now that I think about it, that whole
speech about magicians making things disappear was nothing more than a provocation, a bald-faced challenge.
That can't be right. How can Lenny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances. He couldn't possibly mean catching himself.
He's a suspect at most. Hard to believe all this happened during the show.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Linney and his associates, and that you are pressing charges?
I just think that he... Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
Now she's all shy.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally deliver justice.
Hang on, 1 second, we're almost there.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Linny, won't you?
Oh, come on.
After
This
all,
is how we
he
get put
was
in the
one who
freaking
helped you
ring.
The first time we met. Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Linny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here, on the grandest of stages, the Opera Epiclese.
Okay, so the problem I'm having with this right now is the fact that there's a man dead, and she's worried about this. Like, now?
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her dramatic rhetoric aside for a moment,
I like this
I'd like
guy.
to ask you, are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well.
The only answer.
The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases and search for the truth. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects and shall remain within the Opera House. The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big-shot Outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really quite looking forward to hearing it.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking Fiorina a little more. She's a bit cringe, but overall I think she would be kind of nice to hang out with if you could get past that. And I love her voice actress. Already begin to leave with Fiorina and Nouvellette.
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Cal. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is confusion. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not, and I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with my performance, then we need to figure out what they did. Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
Oh god, Paimon and the freaking mustache and glasses and Where did you get those glasses?
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh?
No, it's
Don't
not.
worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys. Thanks for that. We'll be counting on you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Anything to prove that she's innocent. We don't care about Lenny.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first. Where did Lynette go during the performance?
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
Listen, buddy, you're gonna be put away for murder. We need to know those trade secrets.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go investigate the stage and the seating areas.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is on the case! Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Lenny and Lynette's attorneys.
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Kinda too late.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props,
It's
as well as
Goopy.
assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged.
I think that's what his name was, wasn't it? The big green stretchy thing?
As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the girl. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage, causing them to snap.
Not necessarily true, because none of them went backwards, they all went forward.
All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but we've known each other for a little while.
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence.
People can also be the most reliable.
Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
can use the case record to confirm your current evidence and clue collection situation and sort case-related information. You can check as yet undiscovered evidence and clues in the case record and investigate the corresponding area to locate them. Oh boy. Perception skill to find evidence and clues that can be investigated within a certain radius around yourself. This will advance your overall progress. The investigation from the guards indicates that the firework launched at the tail end of the magic performance set the rope dangling the water tank alight, causing the tank to fall and kill Cowell, who was within it. It seems evident... Seems evident that Lenny is the likeliest user of the prop to commit a crime. However, the reason for the victim being Cromwell and the reason for the chosen lady's disappearance remains mysteries. Cease is one of Lenny's assistants named Cowell. He's well trusted by all his colleagues. His job is setting up and inspecting the props as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. Magic box was struck. If Cowell weren't inside the box at that moment, he might have dodged the falling water tank. Broken magic box was left at the scene after the guards completed their investigation. Looking at it now, the water tank must have struck it really, really hard.
Go ahead, have a look around. In the end, we're both after the truth.
Maurice!
Hello there. What are you investigating?
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are currently considered prime suspects. The investigation team is still collecting evidence. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest list.
Could you tell us who she is?
Sure. It's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the magic show. The Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems that she has no personal grievances or conflicts of interest with the suspects. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really weren't any other connections between them.
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please be sure to contact us. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappearances.
Okay, missing lady's identity. She's a famous painter. Came to watch a magic show in order to take a break from her own creative work. She isn't known to have been entangled with quarrels with any of the members of Lenny's magic troupe.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks?
So either Lenny didn't realize this was a safety concern, or...
Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler?
I want to look up. Oh, the rope just snapped.
Whoa. Look! This bit is made from different material! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left.
Oh no, this
kind of smell.
What the
like a baka.
Thanks, River. Not the baka. You're the baka. Like a type of flash cotton.
So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it, then that means... Wait, why would you write all this down? Let's take notes.
This rope was used to suspend the water tank. It suddenly broke when the fireworks were being launched on stage. The investigation has shown the location where the rope snapped was made of flammable material.
I see that you're investigating the area. Well, it just so happens that I'm interested too. If you find any new and interesting leads, be sure to share them with me, alright?
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I see it. And I'll start it with that loud thud.
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during the countdown?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that most people heard it. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath, so no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has happened, the thud has become an important clue.
An important thud.
That makes sense. So, what do you make of it?
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, or something like that. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Yeah, we've kind of disproved that already.
Wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing.
When the water tank has started swinging.
Oh, that's true. I suppose I must reconsider.
That does remind Paimon, though. What was with that sound?
During the switching performance, there was an audible thump that many audience members heard. Hey. Like, can we look and see? So there's nothing up there where the water tank would have been. No dangling ropes or anything, so that's not very helpful. It's like an ordinary box, but Lenny somehow moved instantly from the stage to being inside of it. How did he do it? I know there's one other person on the, okay, well, I'm gonna go down there to the last couple of cops. Make sure that none of them are... Gonna make me walk upstairs like a normal person? How dare you?
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat? You think the murderer would have still made his move then?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Lenny and Lynette with their side of the investigation. What were you saying about the number selector? There's something wrong with it?
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tall order.
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further inspection.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time.
Okay. Well, I guess if he was able to know in advance what ticket she was going to, or she actually got, that means it could be anybody in the staffing of this place.
I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some performance. In other words, Lenny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Lenny reserved our seats for us, too.
Let you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Lenny.
Even though it's bad for Lenny's case, Paimon had better write it down.
This device is used during Lenny's magic performance to choose a lucky member of the audience. However, the guards have found that it will generate the exact same number no matter what. Clearly, someone has tampered with it. Okay, so we've already done all the conversing there. 10 minutes left on Stream Raiders, friends. I know you want me to talk to them, but can I talk to these people over here? Y'all have nothing to say either. Okay.
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but that's alright. Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone will be
Okay, so it's not gonna let me talk to him at all.
Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us.
Oh, we can come out here. Ah.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
What do we got here?
Huh? You mean us? That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it, you're not from Fontaine.
Well, you're right on the moor about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula?
No, can't say I have.
From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president.
Wow, she's really pretty.
Though those who play by our rules call me boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs are under my purview.
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle? What gives with the names?
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still used to my previous title.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not that we're members of Spina di Rosula anyway.
All merely trifling details. Never mind. Now, back to the situation at hand.
One of
That's right.
as well.
I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Lenny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too. That's why we're looking for clues now. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Lenny without any decisive evidence whatsoever, wasn't she? But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges just to keep her from getting carried away. Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree with her. All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute, did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
Well?
And why would that be?
Doing so makes it easy for the truth to fall by the wayside. Something serious like a trial shouldn't be treated like entertainment.
See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, demoiselle. I too think that the traveler's response was most excellent.
Good for
No
you.
matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must be based in fact. And if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Anyway, I like your answer. You passed with flying colors. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence. You two shall be my assistants.
Yay?
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the assistant, sure. Or your companion, if you like.
Already got you.
I'm really not that fussy.
That's more like it.
Seems we've already agreed.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in uncovering the truth. You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances. In this sense, our goals are aligned.
You have a point. You're quite the talker, aren't you, mister? And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure to let us know if they start revealing Lenny's tricks. Thanks!
Okay. So... Oh, we get to talk to the little one! He's so small.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment. If you wish to leave, you must register your identity with us first.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so we're investigating the case. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So, the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least, not from that point on. I doubt there was much opportunity then, either.
How can you be so sure,
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. Just my luck. But still, I did not abandon my post, and I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so much as even approached the door, I would have noticed it, let alone if they had tried to leave. We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
Melazines. Okay, I'll try to remember
So,
that.
it's safe to say the girl couldn't have left through here. Alright, thank you for your help. This will be useful info.
Entrance and exits. No one left the Opera House during the magic show, and after the incident happened, only those who had their identities cleared by the guards could leave. Well, talking about the main one, they haven't even discussed anything
Here at the performance venue.
about, like, a basement.
Paimon wonders how Lenny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Kinda actually thought I'd faceplant.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers? I would be most grateful.
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see the secrets behind magic performed on such a large scale.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
There we go. That's where we want to go.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here?
Can we just get to that point?
I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here? Where did all that go?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
Back of the door isn't the same.
The back? You mean the inside of the door? What's different about it? Paimon did...
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given that you were sitting in the first row. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Another box inside this one.
Exactly. All right, let's go. I'll tell you how it works as we head down.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
This passage linked the 2 boxes together. So.
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on stage as if nothing had ever changed.
One more battle and then we'll call it there.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she would already be back on stage.
What about your side of the
Right!
trick?
You were talking that whole time, and you even came out for a moment near the end!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
See, Pure, see? He just said they're twins. How can they be twins if she's a cat girl and he is not? Makes no sense.
And that's my favorite part of this trick.
Drives me
Only
nuts.
Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow! Every detail you revealed was more amazing than the last!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be complete. The operative word here being would. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
Okay, so the number one thing I would do in this situation is to start opening doors here.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime, so Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort them back up.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone. We're counting on you.
Side magic box. Okay. No need to read all that. Okay, so lever. Trolley seems to be able to operate automatically. Ah, sorry, I had a back itch. Ladder is required in order to return to the magic box above.
Huh. What's this?
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh? There's all kinds of odds and ends here.
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick. But why would it have been left here?
Not a prop.
Whatever it is, let's make a note of it first.
Dropped hook rope. Rope fallen to the ground. Metal hook's been tied to one end of the rope. Its use is unclear.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Well, unless the floor above was perfectly sealed, there'd be a ton of water down here because of that giant tank.
Oh, Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and then flip the jug over only for the water to disappear. And here's a broken vase. Huh. Did the trolley knock it down while moving?
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks from start to finish. It couldn't have hit the vase at this distance.
Let's note this down too and think about it later.
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Lenny didn't mention the guest having a wardrobe change.
And do you really need to do that if you're kidnapping them? Ugh, this is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
That's funny. High precision is required to complete the magic show, and tracks are perfect for making the trolley stay in the designated course. All kinds of props and costumes are haphazardly stuffed inside. Trolley is crucial for transporting the magic box to the other side. The culprit must have used this to execute their plan.
What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull another person with them, this space would be too narrow.
But there are no other ways in or out of here.
Other than those that go through the magic boxes, and Lenny and Lynette were in the 2 magic boxes.
Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns. Seems to me that there are several things that don't add up here.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then! You know, like the kind you usually see in novels!
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial. So if the charges are upheld, they'll announce a sentence?
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear statements from both sides. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all be projected on the Oratrice. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened anyway.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. This too, then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials. The result it returns is the will of justice itself.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides? Paimon thought Neverlet called the shots.
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice.
Which means that the Chief Justice is going to have a different opinion.
Ah, yes. The guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place before the trial.
Huh? Why?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties, or that we might find outside help to disrupt the case. And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out at any time.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point. That said, are they providing food?
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all.
Paimon.
Just kidding, just kidding. Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks.
What do you mean, no snacks? Of course we'll have snacks. If we cannot buy some, then we'll simply make some.
Huh? Here? But how?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snacks soon enough.
These three are quite the interesting group.
Must be a Spina di Rosula thing.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling. From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself. Beating the egg whites, grinding almonds, everything.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
It's not quite what Paimon meant, but okay.
Paimon was just thinking, aren't you worried about getting your fancy dress dirty beating egg whites and baking like this?
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making snacks. Don't underestimate beating egg whites, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try, fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
Only 3?
Paimon.
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head. You wouldn't be able to think clearly about the case on a sugar rush, would you?
I noticed looking at this character, you can see depth, like in the necklace, but there's very little to no depth in terms of the, I'm not even sure what you call this. Not really a collar, as it's part of, I mean, it's made of cloth. But, yeah, they really need to work on their models a little bit more.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite, strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the mind and lifts the spirit. No need for concern. I'm merely doing as I should.
16 minutes left on Stream Raiders.
Down to business. As Paimon mentioned previously, the tunnel seems to be something of a secret chamber. However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. Some criminal also occupied its sealed confines. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
Left with 2 other people, the missing girl and the deceased.
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was still wearing the same clothes.
Paimon thinks that makes sense, but the real trouble is...
No evidence that a third person exists.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider are both technically victims, whether it's the missing girl, Halsey, or poor Cowell.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowell before making her escape?
But she had no way of knowing how the magic trick worked. Or, we don't know that.
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super sweet!
They are my specialty after all. And I see you've already had 5 of them.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3, honest!
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
Fine, everyone knows how much you love eating.
Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? How could you? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach!
All right, we get it. Well, I suppose one of us might have gotten too engrossed in our chat and eaten them by mistake. No big deal. Lelouch, set up the stove again if you would.
Huh? What are you doing?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
No need to do that.
Exactly. We don't want to trouble you.
As you wish, Demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
So, the missing macarons might have been taken by our mysterious
Well, that's it for
person?
snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the two of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
Alright, thanks for your help, and for the snacks.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
Alright, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Alright, well, we gotta wait for a certain time. So... Ding, 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 ding. Alright, here we go. Oh, wait. I need back up there. I just saw the purple shot. Looks like we can get out now. Nope, guess not. Okay, so where was that spot at? Right there, perfect. Nice. Another 10 minutes left.
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing.
Do have some thoughts, but let's take things step by step.
Impossible things don't just happen. We'll get to the truth one way or another.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happens than we do.
Thanks, Navia. Well, we'll be going then.
Best of luck to you.
You gonna learn today?
Yeah.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
Don't want to learn nothing.
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
They did admit earlier, I don't know if you was here for that, Pure, but they admitted they are twins. So, cat girl, human boy, that drives me nuts.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed. Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session.
And there's not a... Oh, there's a few people. Now they're there.
Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Clearly reveals the details of the magic trick. Everyone in the audience is
Thank you,
stunned.
Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Furina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud. One so loud that I believe practically everyone heard it.
Huh?
Hey, hang on. Something's not right here.
How could Lenny not know about that sound?
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the thud.
Look at those scales. Could those mean...
Probably represent the Oratrice's stands on this trial.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician himself. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
They're Fatui.
No wonder they did something like this.
Oh boy.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny! Why didn't you tell us this before?
Lynette or...
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Furina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true?
There's no doubt about a magician's ability to con others. Given how Lenny has concealed his identity, this could have all been set up beforehand. This child is here in Fontaine along with the other house operatives. There must be some scheme at work here. I've been a victim of such schemes before, and now...
Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted.
Client has withheld some key information.
In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
She's kind of maniacal, and I love her for it. Me with Lenny and Lynette backstage in the Opera House.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Damn, she's cute.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Vitui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to.
You know, well, this isn't all just another
Right.
lie.
So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well,
She is so sweet.
that, but...
Where did you actually go while the trick was being performed?
Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no lies now.
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground, but the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Why do you want to understand how the Oratrice operates?
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
I'll defend you from these charges.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense.
Already have the key evidence. Huh? The adjournment's almost over. Let's go back.
Oh, Paimon thinks she gets what you mean.
So did we actually connect with the core, I wonder? $10:15. We're gonna finish this out. We should be really close to completing this part. Hopefully I don't screw it up.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Furina as fact. Therefore, Lady Furina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
Ugh, that took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention. At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Based on the opposition's account of events, you can identify loopholes in their statement. Use evidence and clues obtained during the investigation to refute any erroneous assertions of fact and replace them with new inferences. Here's your refutations to convince the audience and obtain more support from the people. Okay. This looks like it might be troubling.
As the countdown began, he entered
Hello,
the
Jenna Sparkler? Welcome, friend. How are you doing this evening?
When the flatbed trolley passed,
Thank you so much
he
for the
opened
follow.
the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth.
Let's see if we can
what happened.
swap this around for some truth.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Furina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Furina is the order of events. What Linney experienced and what he saw.
Let's see if my memory is worth the hoot. Okay, identify loopholes. Claims that he headed to the chamber containing the orchard's core upon entering.
Seems this won't...
Let's see, so... Entered the tunnel. Attacked... Okay, so...
According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel.
Sorry, I can't check because I just got home, but I wanted to actually say hello. Aw, thank you, CJ. I hope you had yourself a wonderful day, friend. We're almost done ourselves. Knocked out Halsey. The young lady's clothes.
Seems this won't...
Identify loopholes.
Linney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core.
Fun with Genshin? We always have fun with Genshin. And before I forget, make sure if you are not following CJ, you guys should, because she is a wonderful streamer. Lots of entertainment over there. Let's see. Knocked Cowell out. Nope, okay.
Linney did not take part in the underground altercation. He
Thank
only
you for the show.
witnessed
Oh, you're
traces
welcome,
of the
friend.
aftermath.
Of course, you're a wonderful sweet bean.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say!
Let's go!
When the countdown started, Lenny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately.
It will not let me hit the space.
The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
Honestly, I would have been so very happy and appreciative if they would have used Lamine's voice actress for this, because God, Paimon's annoying sometimes. A lot of the times. Oh my god.
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
However, I believe my opposition's reasoning is flawed.
My reasoning?
The onstage equipment was clearly tampered with and in a premeditated fashion. However you say Conwell was bumped into Linné.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. Managed to turn
Shush,
things
Navia.
around.
You're almost as cringe as Paimon.
Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims?
How you refuted Linny's alibi initially.
Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could he have not heard that sound? Why do you ask? You're saying that he wasn't?
The claim has now become my weapon. Wait, that's all irrelevant? Okay.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
Okay, fine.
Are you sure we don't need
Okay,
to give this more
fine.
thought?
We'll just go with... Why don't you just give me that one to begin with?
That's right! Linny wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
How do you like them apples?
Well played.
To think you'd use such logic.
Oh, she's collapsing.
Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Select the gear icon in the interface to check the corresponding case questions. Select answers and fill all the empty gears to verify the correctness of your deduction. If you have made mistakes, you must make another selection for the remaining options. I'm not gonna lie, when Aether popped up there first, I'm like, wait a second, why is he? Did he do it? In case the fireworks released near the end of the show ignited and burned through the rope suspending the water tank above the stage. This caused the water tank to fall and kill Cowell in his box. Linny is no longer under suspicion, only the other members of the troupe. Uh-oh, hang on. Only other members of the troupe would have been able to tamper with the props. And then he gave a detailed account of how the trick was supposed to work by using a box inside a box. The idea was for the box containing the audience member to be transported across via a tunnel underneath. And Lenny would have used this tunnel to get to the other side. Having changed her outfit, Lynette and her assistant would take charge of onstage interactions. Clothes belonging to Halsey, the lady who went missing, were found in the tunnel. The reason for this remains unknown.
Could there have been a third person involved? Is that really a possibility? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or did she have her own scheme all along?
Hypothesis incorrect, okay.
Could there have been a third person involved?
Nope. Okay, well.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have...
Glad it gives us the answer.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting! Let's hear your reasoning then.
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim.
How can we envisage Lenny to having been unable to interfere with the crime?
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. So, where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Lenny as well. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. It would have been tough for both...
Nope.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash. No one entered or left the The deceased's name is Cowell. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between...
No. Okay. Well, I wasn't reading. There was an altercation in the tunnel.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances.
How could that not be correct?
Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Must have been in a position to easily modify the equipment. Strange noise, but like was Kyle and Halsey struggling. Lynn is not in the tunnel for 1 minute. This would have given time for Kyle to bring Halsey out of the magic box into the audience stands. According to the guard's testimony, no one entered or left the opera house, so even if one had taken her, be no means of exiting. Exiting from the box would have been a full view of the audience, pretty much guaranteeing that they would have been discovered.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is. So this was all just a bluff. And here I thought you had something to show for it. But it seems you're still far from the truth.
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track?
I'm about ready to look it up,
Just
unless
like
somebody
the trick
knows.
as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
Why are you so red, dude? You're glowing.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Wait, could it have been the water?
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient? There is no greater sin in this opera house than an awkward delay in the performance.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment.
Any help would be
Which gave our
great.
criminal
I'm
ample
asking
time.
the chat, please.
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between
Unless
the
it's gonna
missing
give it to me
Halsey
now.
and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important evidence. The water.
There we go. Hypothesis correct. It didn't even give me that option. Oh, it's gotta create the... Yeah, okay.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed into water...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? I should think that of anyone. Your friend Linny already knows this truth very well. Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance is very real. We're talking about two completely different things.
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
Sometime a guard returns with news.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
I should have started up the next battle. I'm sorry.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. The rope that strung the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and
I don't really think that's...
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism.
Oops.
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. I remember there was something else.
Hey, look at that! We got it correct on the first go.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial sea inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage.
So does that mean there were 2 people killed?
But
in this
he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come back and wound you. Does this not clear all doubt? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, it does seem that the famed Fatui is quite the cold-blooded and ruthless organization. Am I right, Mr. Lenny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no! Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move. Why did this have to happen now?
I think we've all seen enough now, and we have ample witnesses to my flawless reasoning. I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceedings.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Lenny, if you would be so kind.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Lenny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't worry, Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should leave the final performance to you.
I understand.
And voila!
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Lenny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee, but then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
They're practiced hand concealment.
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
Now it's time to refute the Hydro Archon's previous reasoning.
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
Okay, well... What's that? Okay, we don't need to refute that. Plan to use the prepared apparatus as the magic trick to dissolve Halsey inside the magic box, as Halsey had appeared completely unharmed. Wait a minute, what was it? How would Halsey have reacted when the water from the primary sea suddenly began to trickle in? Nope. Nope. One of these. Nope. Maybe it was the strange sound. There we go.
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
They wanted all the credit and glory and wanted to get rid of all his partners. Halsey's appeared completely unharmed before all our eyes. Frienemies' conjecture no longer holds water, but there's evidence proving that a fight did indeed break out in the tunnel.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell.
Lenny knocked Call out, then used the method to dissolve young girls. Yeah, right. Okay.
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time. Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
And it's Ace Detective time on top! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box.
Oh, really?
With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended. She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
You kind of look like you're drugged out.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
Oh, snap.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings.
Yeah, but does he get in trouble for that part?
From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent. While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Kinda neat.
As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before this court?
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
Oh, snap.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
But his higher-ups are the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about. The...
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of them.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Oh, we got the droids. Those are the droids we were looking for.
So,
I think we're almost done.
We're just going back now?
Problem seems to be solved for now.
That's true, but...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Lenny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui.
Just didn't want to see anyone falsely accused.
I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption.
Damn, that's
foster
got
care,
dark.
and they have their ways of escaping the eye of the law. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood, and the knave standing there in the darkness.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
The knave is after the Gnosis, isn't she?
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the Knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our homeland.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a Gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
Sorry, but I still can't completely trust you.
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate all this to you. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny!
Hi, Midnight. Well, that was quite the story. Nice big boost of, yeah, hi, I see you, but we're not doing that right now. There? Ah, there we go. We'll, get the last Stream Raiders battle going here as we look into who we can go attack for a raid. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat this or not. Let's see if the Mincy of the Moon is still streaming. She is. Hey, I might have this. Nice. Vampires for the win. All right. Well, what the heck? That usually doesn't happen. Anyway, I want to say thank you all for hanging out with me. Went a little longer than anticipated, but that's fine. We got a lot of stuff done. Another big story arc taken care of in Genshin Impact. And hopefully it gets us a little closer into being able to finalize that. Because eventually we want to be able to do the little things like all the side quests. We want to get all those knocked out. We want to get all our people leveled up. Lots to do. So, yeah. It's coming. We're slowly getting there. There's just so much to Genshin that it takes a while. At least for us. But we are going to raid my friend Mincy of the Moon. She is also... Oh, Mincy Moon's raid settings do not allow you to raid at this time. Really? That's very sad. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to raid Mincy tonight. Let me see who else is there. I don't think we've raided Nap in a while, so let's raid Large Nap. She is out playing Apex Legends. She's doing ranked, it looks like, so hopefully we can get to see her do some cool moves and kick some ass. But time for me to head off to sleep. Hope you all had fun. We will probably hit up Minecraft on Wednesday. Got some things we're going to do in the single-player world. Get some stuff knocked out. Anyway, guys, have yourselves a wonderful night, and I will catch you all on the next live stream. See you later, friends.